it's your first time coming here for a reading, thank you for stopping by. And of course, if you're a returning listener, thank you for coming back. Today, we're just doing a short little pick-a-pile reading for the September 17th Virgo new moon. I would stay later and do more readings for you guys, but I've gone back to work finally, and I've been a busy little bee. So we're just doing a cute little pick-a-pile real quick. So this is pile 1 with a green fluorite crystal. Really great for channeling a lot of energies, communications, bringing it down to the heart space. We've got a nice jade cube. This is said to be the dreamer's stone in Chinese lore, I believe, or just Asia in general. It's the dreamer's stone. I've been feeling a lot of green lately, if you haven't noticed. Very much heart chakra space. And then we've got this lovely Shungite pyramid here. Nice deep earth chakra, root chakra, grounding crystal, and very protective of energy. So really good. So pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Go ahead and make your choices and then come back for your piles. The timestamps are below. See you then. Hello, pile 1. Hope you're doing wonderful today. If you've chose this pile, it was probably for this really lovely green fluorite crystal. I really love this thing. And it's just got a really nice reflective quality on the inside. So if you're feeling that crystal, that's what's up. Spirit wanted me to pull 4 cards for you, and I feel like it wants this one out first because that one's kind of sticking out. Yeah, it wants me to pull from the bottom first. It just said go from the bottom to the top. Just general information you need to hear, messages you need to receive, anything like that coming through the Virgo new moon. So let's see what's up, pile 1. We have the Emperor. That's a very nice Emperor too. It's very much bringing up how relaxed his pose is. It just said like all the business is done, like all the business is taken care of. Ooh, and for some reason it just pointed out his fingernails, which you might not be able to totally see that detail. But let me just say that man's got nails about as long as mine in this image. And it's very much like, we'll wait to see what these other cards say. It's kind of bringing up vampires, or like, but it's bringing it in a romantic way. Like when you watch Anne Rice Interview with the Vampire, or you read some other books where they really romanticize vampires and just talk about how beautiful their physical qualities can be and how mesmerizing it can be. That's kind of what it's bringing up here. It doesn't really feel as if this is a vampire type energy, like an energy vampire feeding off of you. It doesn't feel like that yet. It feels very calm and relaxed and kind of like reposed, basically. Like it said, like all the business is taken care of. Okay, it just mentioned the fact that vampires are immortal. So that's part of it. It's like you've been literally watching your empire grow over time, in the way that a vampire going on through life and years gets to grow its wealth and experience life and do everything, kind of manage its own empire type deal. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting off of this. Almost like you've been working for a very long time, kind of behind the scenes, like this curtain right here. It's kind of like it just said, like in the dark. It's like you've been working on something for a while, but it feels like you're finally done, or like you finally just get to sit back and relax and take your hands off of whatever this is. This could also, of course, be a person, but this is really feeling like it's for you, who's ever watching this one, pile 1. And a 4 of Cups. And there's a big difference in how these figures are sitting, right? It's bringing up body language. It's talking about literally just how this guy's arms are depicted so that they're crossed over his chest, which is always the body language of someone who is cut off, not interested in listening to you, not open, right? That's the whole thing. They're protecting their body. They're protecting their energy. There's a little bit of that in there. But the main thing it's pointing out for me right now is like the literal attitude of the difference of these men and how they're sitting. Nice. It also just brought up that the Emperor card is a 4 and this is a 4. So 4, 4. This is a pretty solid message. And I had to pull 4 cards for you. That's what Spirit wanted. So 4, 4, 4. It's a big number coming through for pile 1. Definitely an angel number. Grounding a lot of things into reality. It feels like you might have previously been in this energy, which is kind of like bottled up, stuck working on something that maybe you didn't really want to work on, or of course we're still, at least where I'm at, still kind of sort of going through quarantine in ways for the pandemic. There's some things here where it's like you previously were not enjoying the process of whatever you were building or going through. It was not emotionally satisfying either. That's the thing. This is a 4 of Cups. This was just not quite getting it for you. And now it feels like this energy is just sitting back, finally has accomplished what it came to do. I'm wondering why I keep saying it. So it's being very kind of androgynous. You could definitely be a woman watching this, right? This is your masculine energy then, or this could be a man watching this. But it's like literally a step up from minor arcana to major arcana, like major shift, major shift here. And I don't feel like it's moving this way. I feel like this is the main energy of this pile. And it's like, this is kind of like where you've been before. 2 different 4s, 2 very different cards, but somewhat similar. Exactly. There's been a lot of burdens and responsibilities to carry, and it's talking, okay, exactly. This is your masculine energy, pile 1. Your personal masculine energy, your manifestor energy, and the Emperor for sure is like mastery of all of that masculine energy, especially in the physical realm. He's not just a king of a suit. He is the master of all of them. That's why he's got the all 4 elemental signs: air, earth, fire, and water. Sorry if you see little ants. I had tea in here earlier while I was working today, and they found my teacup when I went out to dinner, apparently, and have invaded my office. So if you see an ant, that's what's going on. But that's the point. It's like, man, look at this. And it's also kind of pointing out the fact that look at how the feminine energy has been carrying all this weight while this dude's been chilling in the office the whole time and just hanging out, being all sulking and stuff. It's like she's been out in the street working really hard. So it's bringing this up because whoever watching this pile, there's kind of a 2-sided energy coming in. It's like for some of you guys, it feels like this is about people. Like the feminine energy's been doing a lot of stuff recently while maybe the masculine energy was chillaxing and maybe not in such a great place themselves. But if this is just about you, then internally you've been carrying a lot of responsibility and a lot of weight. And I think you've been doing it in a very nice, graceful way too, because she's not overburdened to the point where she's like falling over and complaining and crying in the street, right? She's just trudging on. And that's kind of the deal. That's the vibe I get. It's like he's inside, she's outside. She's carrying all the weight. He's not doing much of anything except for just being, it just said a sourpuss, being a sourpuss sitting inside. And maybe he's like finally stepped up and that kind of deal. If not, then this is you. Like you finally kind of got over this energy. You're actually able to manifest some things instead of sitting around thinking about it. What's up with this last card? Nice. And a 4 of Wands. That's what I'm saying. Okay, and it just made it out like she's carrying all these wands and these staves to this place to set this up. So that's what I mean. And here's another 4 again. That's 4 4s in your pile 1. 4 4 4 4. Major message coming through. So this is always about, we always say like union energy. That can literally be just the union of your heart and your mind on a decision. It can be a union of people. A lot of people associate this with like a wedding card or something like that. They're preparing this arbor space for either a wedding, a celebration, a feast, a banquet, something like that. And it just pointed out like this woman back here, it's actually like a tarot card in her hand, but you can imagine it as like the plan of how to set everything up. So that's what I mean. It's like there's a plan. Again, with the double-sided narrative. For some of you guys, there's a plan internally that's coming together for you, and it's worth celebrating, and you're like getting ready for it. And that's the whole thing, is you're carrying all this responsibility to this place, to this time and place where this is going to, the energy is going to lighten up, and it's going to be happy, and it's all going to happen. And I just said, but you're not quite there yet. You're still here. And again, if this is two separate people, we've got feminines on one side, we got masculines on one side. And it feels like for some people, this energy is a little separate, like possibly two different people. Or it's suggesting you just need to look at the two halves of yourself and kind of figure out what this represents for you, right? Somewhere inside, you're carrying a lot of responsibility and heavy weight, but you clearly have a plan. And you clearly know where you're going, and you know it's going to be happy once you get there. So that's why you're just so steadfast in what you're doing. Meanwhile, it's like you, okay, thank you, Spirit. It was just saying like you've been waiting on some things to manifest in reality to fulfill these 4 cups. And it's like it finally happened for you, or it's about to finally happen for you. And you're going to be relaxing. And it's like that, all that physical heavy work and all this sulking is going to turn into relaxation and celebration for you guys. I want to get one more card just to kind of round it out for you. What's the final message from Spirit for this pile? Never mind. It wants me to pull from my other deck, which means that the card it wants might be in one of these other piles I haven't drawn from yet. So it wants me to pull from my Rider-Waite to clarify for you. And hang on. Sorry, guys, I kind of had to clip that for a second because there was something that happened in my house. So, back to where we were at. It wants me to clarify with the Rider-Waite. And there we go. So, yeah. Okay. So, again, I got some more masculines over here. With this 5 of Swords, it's clarifying kind of what set up this energy right here. This 4 of Cups, kind of sulking and sitting, being by yourself type deal. It just brought up this skull that's hanging in the background here, and then it kind of echoed this person's head for some reason for me. So that's what I mean. It's like in the headspace there for a while. It's like you were reminiscing over something, some kind of conversation, some kind of event between people where things didn't really go your way, it feels like. Some conflict, some competition, can be very vicious at times. Definitely, it just said something worth drinking over, because it was pointing out like the wine. That's what I mean. It's like there's been some past energy for sure that was just very angsty, very hurtful to some of you guys, very angry, just very cutting. It just said rude, very cutting, very rude, very, you know, you get the gist. That's the idea that's going on here. And that's the whole thing. It's like, just said like you finally washed your hands clean of it and you're sitting back. It just said like you recognized your own power. I think that's okay. Yes, thank you, Spirit. That's why it's bringing up like the vampire thing. That's what I mean. It's like you recognized your own gifts and your own power. So you're so unconcerned with some of this energy now because that's in the past. You're moving on. You have more life to live. You kind of mastered your realm a little bit. So this doesn't matter anymore is what it feels like. Might still be a little bit of dwelling energy, but overall it's like you're mostly done. And that's the thing. It's like, why? It's been very heavy. You've been carrying it a long way, but now look, you've got a 10 and a 10. That's lots of completion, and this is the happiest 10 you can get. This is the 10 of Cups. So here we are coming into this 4 of Wands. Just overwhelming happiness. Got the whole picture here. So pile 1, I think what's happening for this new moon, or at least for when I'm doing your reading, it feels like you're wrapping up some old energy still, and you're just moving into something really positive. So embrace that for your new moon energy, and focus on definitely this positive energy heading your way that you're going to. And I think that'll serve you well. So let me know how that resonates in the comments, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you. Hello, pile 2. Hope you're doing wonderful. If you chose this pile, you probably chose it for this Jade cube that I have here. I love sleeping with jade in my pillow. It does help enhance your dreams, like I was saying, and it's a really nice heart chakra stone. It's really good. So I really enjoy this, and let's just get started. It had me pull 6 cards for you guys, but it just said it wants me to start with these 3. So, pile 2. Coming out with this 3 of Swords. I just heard in my head it's not working. And it was implying that like the gears of this heart aren't working. Like it's not working. Like it's not working right. It's not operating right. For some reason, it just was showing me all the kind of green goldish light that's down here. And so then it was kind of referencing green lights. And then for some reason, it just brought up the green fairy of like absinthe. And it was kind of showing me a little bit of the movie Moulin Rouge. And I know at one point there is a scene where he drinks the absinthe and like the green fairy comes and blah, 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 blah. It's been a while since I've seen that movie, so I'm not fully picking up on that reference, but that is something for somebody. It wants to say that the green fairy was always viewed as something kind of, technically speaking, negative, right? Because she only comes on when you drink absinthe, but then it's also bringing up the fact that it's a fairy, that it's magical, that, okay, thank you. It's bringing up that within your own pain, there is like opportunities for magical adventures and healing is basically what it's saying. Like there are things that come to us through our heartbreak and our healing that allows us to discover more magic. That's never really a it's never really a message you want to hear, right? It's just that's what it's bringing up for you guys. So some of you guys feel like your heart isn't working right, it ain't ticking right. Ooh, it just gave me the Tin Man and how he has to go to the Wizard of Oz to get a heart type deal. And it's bringing up the fact that the Tin Man, in the real story of Wizard of Oz, the whole reason why he doesn't have a heart and why he's a Tin Man is because he killed his wife with an axe. So that's the whole, okay, yeah, whew, this pile, y'all, is cracking open. He killed his wife with an axe. And that's why he doesn't have his heart, and he has to go back to the wizard and basically earn it. And that's the whole thing, is like he helps Dorothy through the Wizard of Oz so he can kind of, or through the whole thing, so he can kind of earn his heart back, right? I just want to say that the energy in here is not like heavy. Like I don't notice any pains in my heart chakra or anything right now. So this doesn't feel like an energy that's like totally boohoo, down in the dumps, completely sad. It's just saying like, it's like you're just recognizing some things about yourself, and it doesn't feel like you're totally happy with it, or there's just still some lingering pain from some stuff, and could be some remorse and regret. Something here about the Tin Man, something about not having their heart, something about it not working right. It's like, it was like, that's what I was bringing up, how the Wizard of Oz, the movie, the heart has a clock in it, right? And it ticks like this. And so that's the whole thing. It's just saying like it's not working right. Like it's not ticking right. Whew. But this bad bitch right here, buddy, like, whoa. This card has been coming out a lot lately, at least for Divine Feminines, at least for myself too. It's been a major cycle of completion. Okay, it's bringing, I love this deck. It's bringing up the green again, like this green sky, but this green back here very much echoes this beautiful jade green, whereas this one's kind of more of that lime, a little bit sickly, right? Kind of dancing on that line. And so it's just bringing up, okay, it just said like before a tornado, the sky turns green, right? Like it was bringing that up, like kind of like before the storm type deal. And that's exactly what this card can represent. It's a full completion of a cycle in the major arcana. There has been major cycles completed for this pile. This is your confirmation of it. And especially if you are a woman, honey, look at you. But you don't have to be. If you're a man, you could easily be, you know, some magical wizard or something up in the sky. But she's awesome. I always associate her with like Princess Jasmine, it just said Princess Jasmine on speed, like as if she could be any more of an amazing princess ever. It's like she doesn't even need the magic carpet anymore. It's like Princess Jasmine got a super upgrade and now she can fly on her own. It's pointing out the wings on her helmet, very much Hermes energy, messenger energy. It wants to say psychopomp, which that's what Hermes was, is a psychopomp is someone who escorts the souls of the dead to the underworld. That's what I mean. She's reaped all the lessons. She knows about life. She knows about death. She knows how to fly. She knows how to be grounded. She knows everything. Like, mastered all the elements, right? Earth, water, fire, wind, heart. Now just came Captain Planet. But it said heart for you guys because it wants to bring up that that is an important element of your being. And I think that's part of what you're recognizing is like maybe something in your heart chakra is unbalanced and you're recognizing it, you're feeling it, and you're completing that cycle because of that, because you recognize there's something going through your heart chakra that's not fully healed, not quite operating in the divine way. You were divine always, but it's just you're waking up and realizing these things, and that's a huge completion. It's a lot. It's saying waking up. Someone definitely had an awakening. You're just waking up. It's a lot, but look how fierce you are, right? It literally, the first thing it pointed out, though, was how, like, these two pictures with the sky and that kind of greenish color going through the sky, it's bringing up how this could easily flow from one thing to another. It was just kind of saying, like, part of the story is broken, part of the story is divided, like, because the black border is here between these cards, I can't fully make this image match up. So that's what it's saying. It's like there's a disconnect. And that kind of goes back to what was coming up with this card here. It's like there's been a disconnect. Now, this is about conflict. This is about like a fight about to break out, right? Traditionally, this card can imply some play too, like play fighting. This particular deck, I don't ever feel like it's play fighting. What I do always see is the little hole here in the middle of this wand, and that always makes me feel like a part of the story is missing type deal. So that's what I mean. It's like there's a break in the story. All the information isn't there. It was possibly due to some conflict. It just said like, okay. And that's the whole thing. This, as much as this card is about you and your healing cycle, it also brought up possibly a person. And it was like, this person might have been your whole world type deal. They were your whole world. There's some complications surrounding this energy, both just as you, and if this is a situation with someone, then there's like some conflicting energies surrounding this, and it's stuff you got to work through. Okay. Ooh. Well, I just kind of picked at that one. I just wanted to lay them out. But this Nine of Swords here under this Three of Swords, I just wanted to point out that's 12 swords. The number 12 might be important to you for some reason. This Nine of Swords, that was a heavy message that just came through for you, pal, too. It was talking about how this is, man. Okay, Three of Swords, Nine of Swords. It's like you multiplied this by 3. So it was talking about how it's like this pain came back to you threefold. Or you feel like you sent pain to somebody threefold. No, it just, no. It just said like it came back to you threefold. That's what I mean. It's like, I feel like you've been in this cycle maybe for a while, because it doesn't feel super emotional right now. It's like you're just recognizing like maybe some stuff that you dished out before is karmically coming back on you threefold, and now you went from a Three of Swords to a Nine of Swords, right? This is also, though, just very much implying that you were all up in your headspace and that it has been really bothering you. It's been giving you a lot of anxiety, possibly even nightmares, or you've been connecting to stuff through dreams. This is all that all that mental energy painted up to be something very fearful, anxiety, sharp, scary, little bats and stuff floating around your head at night, kind of haunting you type deal. That's what I mean. It's like this came back threefold to kind of haunt you in a way, is what it feels like. Wants me to wait on this one. What's this? What's this? Man, look at all the swords energy for this pile 2. Coming out on this 5 of Wands, this is like, part of it saying like this person is being blind to some of this conflict. The other part of it, though, is very much implying, because these people are outside, it's like this person's inside. This person's very much shut in and can't move that well, can't really do anything. And these people are about to get into a fight over it. So it's like either someone's got this person kidnapped and held up and there's some people kind of trying to come in and change this situation, or this is just clarifying this. And it's like whatever this conflict was, it's like you had your hands tied kind of deal. Like you couldn't really do anything about this. Not really. You can speak and you can walk, but you can't really do anything with your hands, and you can't see where you're going or anything. There's a lot of swords around you, very much this energy, but this is so much more like standstill. This is like frantic, up in your head, can't sleep type energy. This is hands are tied, can't move, imprisoned in your mind, don't know how to make a move. And that's either a result of this conflict, or it's literally like that's part of the reason why this conflict was existing in the first place, because something wasn't moving for you. And this can totally be in your mind too. It's like it just said kind of like make up your mind. That's what I mean. It's like it's giving me that little scene from The Notebook that everybody turned into a meme online, where he's looking at her before she drives off and he's going, "What do you want? Like, just what do you want? What do you want? What do you want?" It's so, and she's like, "It's not that simple." And he goes, "Yes, it is. What do you want?" And the whole thing is this person, she's trying to please, you know, everyone else around her to make everyone around her happy, when at the bottom line, it's like, what do you want, right? And then proceed to sappy romance ending. But that's kind of the situation. It's like someone was like, "What do you want?" Or like, "What are we doing? Let's do something." And it's like, it's not that simple. Like, I'm tied and bound. I can't do some of these things. So that's where some conflict has been coming in. Oh, what's up with this wonderful woman on this world card? Oh, that's beautiful energy here in the center. There's this 10 of Pentacles, which is a lot of happiness. And this is about home, security, family. I mean, look, the whole shebang's right here. Money. It's also implying, though, like these airships, almost like this gentleman's about to maybe hop onto one of these airships and kind of go away. Like this is maybe a farewell. And that's the whole thing. Again, with like the world is a completion and it goes to a new cycle. A 10 of Pentacles is a completion and it goes to a new cycle. So yes to the completing of real cycles. But this is also that kind of happily ever after card. I was going to say like heavenly ever after. That was the phrase that just wanted to come out of my mouth. And like, this is heaven, like heavenly ever after. It just said on earth as it is in heaven. Like this green keeps coming through for you guys hardcore. And it's like, this is the energy of completion in the higher realms for you. And it's like part of that completion is the desire to see this full happily ever after kind of picture coming in to manifest in reality, whatever this can represent for you. But there's all this sharp energy, literally, and conflicting energy circled around the center where you've got this really awesome energy pile too. So okay, it wants to say like at your core, know this and feel this. You, whatever your gender is, are like, I can't get over how amazing and how much I love this card. Like this is my favorite world card out of any of my decks, because she is just phenomenal, right? Like she's magnificent. She's got 2 scepters. She will kick your ass with one and rule with the other. Like she's amazing. And that's what I mean. It's like you feel that power within yourself. It just say within your side. That's weird. It's kind of bringing up, you might be feeling body twitches and stuff, and especially this could be representing just your feminine energy waking up. We've been talking about, I just said, someone might be going through awakening, so it's like your divine feminine energy woke up. You might be feeling things on your left side, and then that's the whole thing. It's like, why is this all waking up? Because inside, this is what's really hiding in your heart and your soul, and this is the type of feeling you really crave. This beautiful, powerful completion, knowing yourself inside out, feeling magnificent, and having this feeling of a real world happily ever after. The money comes, the house comes, the family's good, love life's awesome, you got pets, you got the whole everything. So we need to clear out this energy here, right? Oh, I just scared half the ants that are over here on my desk. I really wish they would just go away, but they're hoping I'll bring more hot tea in here so they can steal it. Okay, I was going to ask for a clarifier on this pile of how to clear out some of this. I'm going to get one over here too. Look at that. And I guess it wants one on top of this middle row too for you guys. So how to clear out some of this energy. Eight of Pentacles. Saying like focus on the real world, especially if you have work and stuff. People don't like to do that. It doesn't, what it wants to emphasize is like, don't throw yourself so much into work that you drown and bury out feelings and things like that, because that's not the effect that Spirit wants you to do. It wants you to just, it just kind of said like there's a time and place for everything. So, you know, deal with this energy when it comes up, but otherwise try very hard to focus on other projects and things right now, because that is a more positive energy. This is that physical pentacle energy, so you're actually manifesting some things. You're getting out of that mind space, which is these swords. It's just something to kind of help channel your energy in a more positive way is what it's suggesting. What about this conflict and this kind of Eight of Swords energy over here? This Three of Wands is like just pausing and waiting. It's like you've known some things are going to happen, so you're waiting on the ships to come in. You're waiting to see the evidence. It's like you still can't move, or you still haven't been able to fully resolve this, and that's where the universe is just coming in to say, like, just sit and wait, watch and wait. The universe always says that, right? It gets kind of annoying, but that's the whole thing is it's like it just gave me the Bible verse where it's saying, where God is telling someone like, my ways are higher than yours, right? So that's the whole thing. It's just, yeah, just kind of sit and wait and see what happens with this, I think. I don't think you're supposed to engage in this energy. And even if you're feeling a little stuck still or something, it's like you're supposed to be here for a reason, because you're standing here waiting on something to evolve and reveal itself to you. And what's this final card on this right here? Ten of Wands, Ten of Wands, Ten of Wands, Ten of Wands. Man, that card's been coming out for like a freaking month and a half, 2 months, I swear. Yeah, that's what I mean. And another 10. Look at that. 10, 10. This is a 21, but it's a completion card. So 10, 10. We're talking about the 10 man. There's been some heavy burdens you're laying down, so much completion in the center. It really wants to let you know, pile 2, that whether you recognize it or not, because there's a lot of energy surrounding you that feels like it's not so positive, it wants to let you know that it's so beautiful. That was such a beautiful message, Spirit. How at the very beginning it was saying, my heart's not working right. It's not working right. It's not ticking right. Spirit is here to tell you, honey, it is working just fine. Okay? It's working just fine. Look at this beautiful energy in the core of this reading, literally right here in the center. That is your heart space. That is the core. That is the center. That is you. Beautiful energy. And it's just been very heavy because you've been going through a lot. And honestly, it keeps saying awakening. I swear you've been going through an awakening. And if not, then you are possibly working on one. But you've gone through some major steps here, pile 2, and you're doing a fabulous job. And I think you've got a lot of swords energy. Try to get out of your head. Try to focus on the real world physical things that can help you feel positive, feel like this really awesome figure back here on this world card. Feel happy and safe and loved and secured like this. Like, And stop carrying all this energy around with you, right? Focus on work. Sit and wait where you have to sit and wait and let spirit deliver things to you. And just know within your center, within your soul, within your divine self, that your heart works just fine. Your core energy is just fine. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just been a heavy load. You're okay. It just said stop being so heavy on yourself. It just said you're beautiful. That reading's beautiful. All right, pile 2. That's what I got for you guys. And please let me know how that resonates for you. And I'll see you guys later. Thank you. Hello, pile 3, my last pile. Hope you guys are doing great. If you chose this pile, you probably chose it for this really awesome Shungite pyramid. Lovely, lovely stone. Definitely very good for grounding. It's actually a lot lighter than you would think it is. I guess maybe because it's the color black, we always anticipate it to be very heavy. It's actually a pretty light stone. So this is really nice. I love this. Something just grabbed my left elbow right before I sat that pyramid down. It like squeezed my left elbow over here. So it's ready. Let's get started. It just said divine feminine energy. So feels like a feminine energy coming through to deliver, just said, part of this message. Wants me to like take my time. 6 of Swords, 6 of Swords. So lots of transition happening for you guys right now. Possibly lots of movement, lots of changing your mind, a little bit of uncertainty. I can just hear like the airplane motor going like through my head. It's like, that's what I mean. It's like you've been flying around in the clouds doing a lot of transitioning and moving. And when it just said in the clouds, it's literally like, sorry, it's giving me a song. Like up in your mind space. Now it gave me this song from this band called We Are Giants. And it's called Meet Me in the Clouds. And the chorus that it was just singing to me said, meet me in the clouds. Let me work it out. Don't you take it personal. And then I believe the last line is like, don't you like the control? I think that's what it was saying. So there's something about like working on something. That's what I mean. Transition. Let me work it out. Don't take it personal. Lots of thoughts flying around for sure. Yeah, and with this 4 of Swords, I can totally feel that. It totally just gave me Shakespeare with this raven over here, quoth the raven, nevermore. Kind of where it's coming in with like this whole line of like, don't you take it personal. The description of this particular 4 of Swords in this deck is talking about how he's just taking a rest and a nap. But he's very aware that the 3 swords here on the wall can fall and possibly will fall once this weird little steampunk sand timer goes off. Because they're just held up by these little bitty strings. And it's like once this timer goes off, they're all going to come down. It did just mention like some self-harm stuff for some people. But that's what I mean. For some of you guys, this is a heavy card. For some of you guys, this isn't that heavy. For some of you guys, it's like, you know, it just said like impending doom, but it just doesn't feel heavy in here. So I don't think it's like doom. It's like, how the raven shows up in, did I say Shakespeare earlier? I think I did. It wants, I'm sorry if I said that, Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe. It wants to bring up how the raven in Poe's poem is just kind of there to haunt the guy and say nevermore, nevermore. And it's all him sitting there at his desk mourning his like lost love or something like that. And basically what it's bringing up is that similar idea. It's like this guy has accepted there's something kind of looming. These swords are kind of looming overhead. There's something just about to come down type deal. And even though he knows it's about to come down, he's like, I'm just going to lay here and kind of wait for it to happen type deal. So that's where I'm picking up that message of don't take it personal. It's like, don't take this personal. This is all just a machine that was set here. You know, it just said you knew this was going to happen. You knew this was going to come down. And instead of being all fussy about it, you're choosing to just rest and let the universe handle this for you, right? But there is a bit implied that you're just kind of laying down and accepting it in both a good way and a bad way. Like, you're not standing up to fight against it. You're just laying down for it, right? Does that make sense? Oh, look at that magical sword, though. Why? Why are you just laying down and kind of taking this or just dealing with it? Because this Ace of Swords is coming up, and look at how big and badass and magnificent this sword is compared to these two. It's like you just know there's something better on its way. You got new ideas. So many swords right here. Also, 6 plus 4 equals 10. There's the 11th sword. That's like the magic number, right? Magical sword. That's your Excalibur right there, your Ace of Swords. There's a brand new idea. There's a brand new shift. There's a brand new energy. Lots of clarity and truth coming through. And you're just kind of like done with whatever this past energy is. And I think you're supposed to be, because with these 11 swords here, that number 11, it's like this is your chance to walk. It just said to walk away into something new. This is something new. And it's right here in the center. Look at that. Just like, yeah. Yes, lots of healing on the way because of this transition that you're making. The star is leading the way. This is something that you feel. I just love how the glow of the sword right here very much resembles some of the glow of the star card. It's like you have sensed that this needs to shift, that this energy needs to end. I think you're also tired, of course. That's a traditional Four of Swords meaning, is rest and recovery. But this one's a little different. This one's like laying down the sword because you're just exhausted and you're just ready for something new. Why? Because your soul knows you need it. Because the star of destiny is calling you, because it's leading the way. You might not even fully know what this is yet, but you just kind of feel this pull. And so that's the whole thing. The star is encouraging you to let go and transition and move through some of this stuff, because it's like, yeah, the sword's right here. We're lighting the way. And the 7 of Wands at the end, it just says, this whole thing, it's like encouraging you to be very strong within your spirit. Be very strong within your spirit. Because it wants to bring up that with swords energy, that's our mind. It wants to bring up, it just said like babble, like that's the whole thing, like your mind will babble to you and tell you things that'll get you all worked up or convinced that you're not supposed to follow like your spirit calling and what you really feel inside. And the reason why is because spirit callings or emotional callings that we can't really touch or make sense of, they're not logical, they're not rational, they don't make sense to us. Swords energy is all about the mind, which is logic and rational thinking. So if it doesn't make sense, usually we kind of shove it off. And that's why the logical hasn't been working for you so well at all. And that's why you're like, dude, I'm just done with this. I know that there's something better here. Why mess with these logical swords when you can have this magical sword of like spirit, Excalibur, this brand new life and idea and truth and clarity coming through? The only thing you need to do is listen to that inner calling and stand up and continue to push forward for it, instead of what it doesn't want you to do is circle back around and go back through this cycle again, is what it's saying. It wants you to really hone in on that spirit calling and avoid going back through all of this energy where it's like you're doubting yourself, your mind is running in the background and kind of getting you down, kind of haunting you a little bit. It wants you to really soak up this really beautiful energy over here in these cards and understand that you really are feeling this. You really are supposed to push a little bit. It wants, okay, there's another message coming through for you guys. It wants to let you know that you are going to have to push to kind of get through this energy, because it just said like that's part of your test. Not that spirit's like full on testing you. It's just you have to understand like that's how you grow. It's bringing up the idea of how butterflies have to struggle and fight their way out of the cocoon to survive. Why? It looks terrible from the outside looking in, but it's actually building their wing muscles so that they can fly. It's very, very important for them, and that's kind of the deal that it's bringing up here. It's like you have to push, because that's the only way for you to grow your wing muscles so that you can fly on your own without having to have all the swords energy here. That's what I'm kind of getting for you guys. Let's get a couple of clarifiers. What's this Four of Swords? Wheel of Fortune. That's what I'm saying. It's like you just know it's time. That hourglass totally syncs up with this wheel. You just know it's time. And that's kind of what the raven represents in here too, both in Poe's poem and in this card. Kind of, it's like it's time. It's like it just said a harbinger of death, as in like transformation, spiritual transformation, right? It's coming to deliver the message. It's saying it's time. Stop fighting so hard. Lay down, take a rest, accept your fate. It's also showing me this clock now too, and there's little wheels under here as well. So that's what I mean. It's like the Wheel of Fortune. Like it's just time for some things to end. It's time for some things to rest. It's time to stop worrying your mind so much over things and just kind of accept that the universe is wanting you to shift too. And it feels like you've known this for a while, because here's all this energy to help lead the way, and the message about pushing through. That wouldn't be coming through for you guys if you weren't already feeling like this. So these are just confirmation cards to say, yes, it's time. I was going to say, what's up with this Ace of Swords? Look at that, Ace of Pentacles. Not only is this a solid new beginning in your mind, clarity, truth, decision, this is a very solid beginning in reality. So when you make up your mind, when you do make this shift, when you accept this sword over all these other ones, then you get the Ace of Pentacles. There's a gateway here. You get to go through the door. This is money, opportunity, finances, anything solid, anything real, anything you can put your hands on and actually touch instead of just thinking about with your mind or feeling with your soul, right? I just want one card for this over here. Kind of in general, the Star and the Seven of Wands. I'm going to throw this one out at me. Knight of Pentacles. That's what I'm saying. Look at that. And there you go. Picking up the pentacle and getting on your horse and carrying it off. And under the deck, we have the Six of Wands, which is totally a victory card, right? Procession, moving forward. Yeah. So it just said, like, don't drop the pentacle. It just said, like, when Spirit hands you the pentacle, don't drop it. Look at this. The wheel becomes the pentacle, and there you are on the horse with the pentacle moving forward. So, wow. Pile 3, Spirit's really here to motivate you guys and just let you know that you might feel like some things are very futile and you might not understand all the transitions you're going through. Spirit's here to tell you that you have been sensing what all this shift is about. You do know kind of what you're going through. You're very aware of what all of this is for yourself in a way. And it's time. So when Spirit hands you the sword and when Spirit hands you the pentacle, don't circle back around and go through this energy. Hop on that horse, accept that pentacle, and ride off, and just into the sunset with it. Ooh, sounds like some good stuff heading your way, Pile 3. So let me know how that resonates for you, and let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys later. Thank you.